Well, good to chat to you again, friends and followers and minions. Here on board the boat, I'm making winter and autumn preparation for the end, as it were. I'm aiming for Christmas, to hold my land till Christmas. They told me I'd be down and gone 4 months ago, and hey, look, I'm still here, right? So let's see what I do next. So here's a bit of a look around the boat and preparation I've made for the garden and everything that goes with it for the winter. It's looking good, it's looking good. I've made the arrangements for it to be more suitable for winter plants to be successful. But here I'll talk about when I was learning to be a motorbike. I'd never straight in the deep end, direct access. Got trained by the top people in the country, as what you do, otherwise why bother? So I'll tell you about that little story. That's good because I can tell the story of my demise lunatic brother's story. Back when I was in my mid-late 20s, I learned to ride a motorbike, and the school that I learnt it with, the instructor of us was the chief police instructor for police motorbiking pursuit and all that business. And post the police did his own thing through ROSPA, so I did learn my motorbiking then. And of course, like all small, strong men, I bought the biggest, huge 1300 I could lay my hands on straight in at direct professional training, and got into that. Obviously great to get the professional top rate training from the top people. So yeah, so I learned my motorbiking then, pursuit and all the cost of the road and the proper thing. Basically, if you're going to learn any skill or professional or anything you need to do in life, learn to do it professionally and be A1. Don't be A2, don't be D5, right? Be the best or don't do it. So I learned my motorbiking, and that was great. Of course, once I'd crashed out a few times, then I got a more sensible off-road big trailer instead, a much more sensible and useful. I remember one time I was living in St Albans. At the weekends I'd help with the training the next generation motorbikers, and I'd been to visit my mother in Southampton to visit, and on the way home I popped in to see my brother Ryan, a dealer and doer of do's. I just dropped in just to check if he was alive, just to lay a report. And of course, I just happened to turn up, fully geared up, in my motorbike, with all everything, looking like I've just come hammering in. And the place had about 20 policemen in it, and come boiling out to bust me, because obviously I was doing the delivery. Apparently I hadn't seen him for about 3 years, frankly, and but they let me go because it was just so ludicrous. Of course, they'd picked the one day for the whole month that he wasn't there is the day that they raided him. Any other time he'd have been there, but no, just that one moment. My brother to cash, that's the day they went in. Good effort by the police. They had the supermarket, they had the police station, they had the pub, they had the main road. It's all right there, so I can see what's going on, but they still go on the wrong day. It's amazing. How do they organise these things, professionals? The 2.5 years that I was in St Albans, living there and working for the council, driving the big grass mowing machines, working for the council, basically doing the heavy machinery, grass side mows. Of course, I did all the beautiful, pretty, lovely, posh areas. My areas got the 200 acres a day mowed by me on my machine, because mine looked absolutely beautiful. And then after I'd done my day's work, then I'd do my 2 hours of overtime, and then I'd do 2 hours overtime for the boss's overtime, and then I'd do my overtime. That's how I would make my money. It'd probably be about 90 hours a week, just casual working degree, and then I do shoot people with my paint guns and do the motorbiking and everything else that came along to be interesting to my life. 2.5 years of that, I went off for a 6-month break in the winter to go and see a bit of Asia, and that's when I got Asia and become fantastically ill for 2 years. And that was the end of all that. And then after that, it was something else. Maybe we'll get there another time. So yeah, so motorbike was one of the entertainments and enjoyments of that period of my life. 2.5 years, that's the longest that's up until that time since I'd left secondary school, really, until this recent period, I would say, until this recent period when I became my mobility in life, not just my current illness but in other factors. Until then, it's the only and the longest stopped and stable period I've actually had in my entire life. Because when I'm sailing, also I'm always going around doing all kinds of different things. If I go sailing, I do a few sailing trips. I'm not just doing that. I'll always have some other little mission in the picture also occurring. You can count on that a bit. So I've changed you, you know, the new setup of the boat for the, you know, the final spell, as it were. It's difficult for me to get out and about and around now. I was going to go and see James Bond film, but I'm just, it's just too much for me now. I am dying after all. I'm supposed to be in a hospital or something with it. But hey, whatever. Still working on some videos and stories that I'm considering. If anybody has a particular story or something they want to hear from me on any sort of subject, that's fine, within reason, as it were. Suitable for everybody, not for solo people, but for people in general. If there's something, a tale to hear, let me know. I'll remember eventually. Yeah, so that was the peers of motorbiking, which was good, basically. Good skills to have. It's probably good that I didn't become a pro as a motorbiker, because I'm too much of a nut job. I am bound to have crashed it at extreme speed at some point. It's just a matter of time, basically. Now I've got this very slow boat that doesn't go anywhere very fast at all. But here on the boat, as I say, we're all getting ready to head to sea in the spring. I shall be gone, of course, in the spring. I'm still my carer, my palliative manager, still not visiting me weekly. She's only coming every 2 or 3 weeks, and so long as she's coming at like a non-frequent times, and I know that the end is not quite here yet, is my measure. She's still not coming constantly. Neither is my psychiatrist to make sure I stay sane long enough to die tidily. Yes, indeed. So that's all going well. So I've still got some time, and I'm hoping to make it till Christmas. That's basically my plan now. I plan to sail out till Christmas, have a spectacular Christmas, get the most attention I possibly can, and then on New Year's Day I'm going to keel over suddenly dead in the most spectacular fashion I can possibly think of at the time, and some more. Don't worry, I'm working on the plan. See you soon.